walking on the beach the other day and we came across somebody's name written in the sand. And we were walking and he said, I wonder if I wrote Jesus in the sand, if God would send me a sign. I said, I don't know. Why don't you try it? And so he looks for his stick and then he bends down and very meticulously and carefully writes Jesus in the sand. And then just stands there for a minute, looking at it, contemplating quietly. And then he turns to me and he says, you know what? What if I am the sign? And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, what if later on today somebody's walking down the beach and they're like, God, give me a sign. And then they walk by and there's Jesus' name written in the sand. Maybe that's the sign that they need to do something great. Maybe that's the sign that they needed to encourage them. Maybe they really needed some encouragement. Maybe they were feeling really low. They needed to see a sign from God. It was a really empowering thought because we really are God's hands on earth. We are capable of being signs from God to each other. So my question for you is this. Have you written Jesus' sand in the name today? Have you written Jesus' sand in the name today? That's rich. Have you written Jesus' name in the sand today? How can we be God's hands on earth? How can we spread love, compassion, and forgiveness for others? So today we're going to light a candle for, people that we don't get along with. So we're going to light this candle with the intention of letting go of the past, opening our hearts to love, and the candle goes out. Wonderful. I don't know what that means. Is that an omen? I don't know. I'm not sure. But we're gonna light it again. Maybe I should try again. Okay, so this candle is for compassion. God, lift our minds and perception to try to see through new and loving eyes. Remove suspicion and past experiences from our minds and fill our hearts with love. 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, so we're gonna get into the main thing that I wanted to talk about today. And this is a reflection on my last video, which you can watch here if you missed it from last week. Check it out. You can click it right here. So the most recent video that I posted was a tribute to one of my most favorite praise and worship songs. And it goes, humble thyself in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up higher and higher. And I wanted to talk about what that means to me. First, let's begin with some definitions of humble. Having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's own importance is one. Of low social, administrative, or political rank, or lower in dignity or importance. So you might hear this song and see these definitions and feel, I don't know, bad, insulted, I don't know. And rightfully so, I would say, if you look at them in a certain way. But we're gonna take a step backwards and we're gonna talk about the application of being humble. So if you are humble, you make decisions out of love for others. You forgive others and you put others before yourself. If you think you're better than everyone else, you're not moving down a good path, you're moving down a bad path. But next, we want to talk about the Lord, God, the Creator, the Source, the pinnacle of highest consciousness, the divine spark that breathed life into all things great and small, and everything around us. We say, be humble in the sight of the Lord. Know that you're only a small, tiny, minuscule part of something so grand, of which you cannot even fathom the magnificence, the glory, the power, the magnitude. So you must be feeling really small and insignificant right now, right? Wrong! You are a part of God. He is within you. And don't forget the last line. Humble thyself in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up higher and higher. Once you understand that you are a beautiful, unique piece of this grand, larger design, this one truth fractals into a million facets of purpose. Let's just do a real quick, put it into perspective. So from all the tiniest pieces of matter, from a quark, through atoms, electrons, protons, neutrons, all the way up to single-celled organisms, bacteria, plants, all of this, animals, and then you have DNA, then you've got humans. I mean, take a look at all this stuff. I mean, we're in the age of information. We can Google practically anything, see it under a microscope, see how cool it is, see God in it, see how amazing the structure of all of this is. We can see just how deep God's beauty in creation lies. And we need to be humbled that we are a part of something so massive. This design is a huge undertaking, all of it meticulously engineered. Perfect. Bask in the excitement of rejuvenation and motivation. We are all God's hands on earth. Each and every one of us can do his work every day and spread love to all. And that, my friends, is something to be overjoyed about. That is how God can lift us up. I mean, I can make a pretty good chili, but if you sit me in a lab and you tell me to construct a leaf, forget it. I'd be calling my homeboy God up in here stat like, hey, you got a second? He'd sit down next to me. I'd be like pushing it over next to him like, I'll cover for you, dude. Go. You're good. Go. Make the leap. Thank you. Thanks. There's no way. I can't. Really?